Hi there and welcome. These are your handover videos for your 2022 Bailey Unicorn Pamplona. These are a basic walkthrough on how to set up and operate the caravan as if you were coming on or off site. So, starting off, you have your hitch head at the front with black lever that you have to have pulled up like so, which then allows you to wind down the jockey wheel onto the tow ball, which will snap down that black handle, push up that red button and expose a green ring. Then if your car isn't fitted with air suspension, you can wipe the jockey wheel in the opposite way to check that it is on. You have a breakaway cable here. Now legality states if you have an eye point, it has to be used, if not wrapped around the tow bar. You have 13-pin electric, so if you do have 7-pin adaptation on your car, make sure to bring yourself an adapter. You may lose a couple of features such as Alco ATC though. Then your handbrake is a gas strut handbrake. So with regards to this, you press in on the button on the top and then push down to disengage, and you just pull it back to engage. Now with these, you'll hear a first initial click, but just keep on pulling it back a little bit more. After about 2 or 3 clicks, that's fully engaged. Otherwise, it will just roll back. 2 points either side and 2 points at the back, we have inserts for your legs. Now the caravan itself comes with a leg winder, or you can get yourself a 19mm drill bit and a power drill just to make it that bit quicker. Do not attempt to jack up or level the caravan using your legs, they're simply used for stabilisation. Now we are using our test equipment today. So first up we have a mains lead, which is plugged in just here. Mains lead just plugs in as standard. Next to it we have your water pump. Now we're not running water through today as the caravan has been fully drained off and the temperatures are quite low at the moment. However, with regards to this, all you have to do is push it in to insert, then press down on the cap to lock it into place. Only way that you're pulling that out is with a fair bit of force and breaking your plastic cap. You then have this white cap to go over the top of the acrowl to ensure no nastiness gets in, and then at the bottom we have your strainer. Now it's crucial that the strainer sits at the bottom of the barrel to allow the maximum potential of water to come through, as otherwise you can have coughs and sputters. Next to it we have your flue. Don't have to do anything with this except make sure it's nice, clean and tidy. All this is for is getting fresh air in when operating on gas. Then we have your gas locker. Gas locker is situated towards the axle for better weight distribution. 2 points for 2 6-kilo gas bottles, and then your regulator just here. Attached to the regulator I have my gas hose. Hand tighten that as much as you physically can, and then just give it a little bit of nip up using a spanner. You don't want it ridiculously tight as there is a washer in the gas hose which can put unnecessary pressure onto the hose, causing the O-ring to crack, break and the gas leaking out. And we are using Cala propane gas. I'd always recommend propane over butane just because it has better performance in winter. Black gas hoses will run for 5 years, so as you can see this one is dated 2025, so that will take me up to 2030. Motor mover will be gone over on collection. And then lastly we have your toilet function. So below we have 2 points where your wastewater is going to come out of. You need some 28.5mm waste pipe to then feed into a waste master that you can empty out at the appropriate point on site. Then here we have your cassette. To remove it, press up on the orange handle and pull out towards you. That's always useful when I have the cap on. Now that does also extend out and up. Now once you're at your emptying point on site, what you need to do is twist that head to the side, open up the cap, and then what you want to do is tilt, and at the same time as tilting, continually pressing your vent button. Now my recommendation after you've done that is to slide this compartment off, open that up, feed in some fresh water, give it a bit of a shake, and again tilt and vent. Make sure you do push that back properly though. Then on this cap here you have measurements both imperial and metric, and that's for your blue chemical. Blue chemical goes into the cap, back onto there, twist the head to the side, push in so the orange handle sits behind those white teeth, as then it can't be removed. Then above we have your flush tank. Your flush tank has a capacity to hold around 12 litres of water, however I wouldn't recommend putting in any more than 10 as you don't want to overfill the compartment. You can also add a bit of pink chemical which works as a bleach without being corrosive. Please don't put actual bleach down your toilet, it is plastic, it will corrode. Now you don't want to travel with either of these two full, so just to the side here, get a black bung to drain off any remaining water from the flush tank. The caravan itself will be fully drained off before you collect it. Then underneath your right hand side seat, you have your boiler just here, which you can pull back this panel if you ever need to do a reset. Then this here is your water tank. Now if you want to physically see the amount of water that's in it, you can twist open that top and have a look inside. You have this yellow drain valve just here. When it's in the upright position, that is in drain mode. However, when you want water to come through, flick it down, either way horizontal. Main thing as well, you have this black toggle here. Now, as it's onboard tank, you have two different types of selection. So you have when it's facing this way, which will also be the drain mode for the onboard tank. But when you want it drained off, you have to have a yellow switch as well. But when you want the water to go into the onboard tank, you push this black toggle so it's facing down. So it's facing to 6 o'clock. Then you pull through the water, let it go to the tank, and then you're able to use the water in the onboard tank. Under your fridge, you have all of your trips and fuses, all your trips in the upright position and all your fuses in the correct position. I'd always recommend carrying some extras with you as well. Then just here we have your main control panel. So we have your on and off button just here. You have your internal light, which press in, and then you just use your respective switches. Then have awning light, which will press in, go to the outside, press it in again, there we go, that's all working. You then have the amount of power in the van. So right now it's showing full. When you're not plugged into mains, that will show the amount from the leisure battery itself. You then have this pump button, which you have to have pressed in to be able to draw through the water. Now this switch here is representative for where the water is going to go. It's either going to go straight from the aquarial to the tap, or it's going to go from the aquarial to the onboard tank. When it's facing in this position, like so, that is going straight from the aquarial to the tap. However, switch it over, and then if I press that in, you'll hear like a slight whir, and that will be the pump pulling the water through. Now, as we're not pulling water through today, what you would do is wait about 2 to 3 minutes, then come over to your tap, open up on both cold and hot, and what you're looking for is a nice steady continuous stream. Maybe a case when the system is overly pressurized that you'll get some coughs and splutters. That's natural, just let the water run through. However, if that continues, check your drain valves, check that the water pump's plugged in correctly and that you have plenty of water. Then here we have your toilet operation, which is bulk simple. Lift up a lid, press your button on the side, and you can hear that faint whir. That is what will push through any water inside the system. You need to remove your waste, press away on the handle, opens up the catch, then pull it back towards you to be able to shut it off. Then when the cassette is full, there'll be a red light under there telling you to empty. And here we have your Dometic fridge operation. So these are two-way operation doors, which you can see working. Now make sure that you don't try and use both handles to open it up. Then to turn this on, press and hold in on the dial. It will flash up and then go to its most recent memory. Now, this is a dial, but it's also a button. So press in. First up, we have the amount of power. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. 5 being the most powerful, so it's going to chill it the quickest. Even on full capacity, it does take around 4 hours to fully chill. When the fridge is on as well, the lights will be on. Press in again, switch down, and this is what you use as a source. So you either have auto. That battery symbol is representative of 13-pin electric, not your leisure battery. Gas, which I'm currently selected, as you can see by the blue, or main. So if I select auto and then back out, you can see auto switches over to mains. Then lastly, we have some settings. So we have the screen brightness. We have a key beep sound. So now it's deselected, it means it will beep when it presses something. Ventilation setting just here, and then a fast freeze setting, which is going to prioritize the freezer over the fridge. Then this screen will fade off when it hasn't been used in a while. However, to completely turn off the fridge, press and hold in on the button again, turns itself off, no more lights. I would also recommend, if you are wanting to use the gas setting, check through all of your hob, grill and oven. Now for the hob, grill and oven, all of this operates off gas minus the electric plate. Electric plate, just spin it to whatever mark and it will get to temperature. Everything else, press in on the dial, twist it to the side and press in on the igniter. Now it may be a case the flames will light and then cut out when you first come to light it up. That's natural, that's the gas making its way through its system. This is what it looks like when they're all lit. Then as you can see, all flames nice and lit. Turn it off, back to the central position. Same concept for the grill. You can see both sides of the grill nice and lit. Finally, your oven. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. There you go. Now with this as well, make sure that these grids aren't impeding on the actual flicker, as otherwise it will not light. Only other real thing to note, you need to travel with this glass sheet down, but don't put it down until all burners are cold to the touch. And you can travel with your gas hose connected, but make sure that the bottle itself is off.